is it, Dave?
It's Jayne Middlemiss and Bob Mortimer.
Right. Jayne Middlemiss. We're talking to Jayne and Bob after the break. Welcome.
Hello there, thanks for having us.
That's all right, thanks for coming. Yeah, so you've been watching the tournament, I presume?
I have, yes, yeah. Yes, I hope Hewitt wins.
Yeah.
Only jokes, of course I've watched it. I'm a football man.
Yes, well, one of the things we've noticed about Euro 2004, if I could bring you round to it, is that they've done this thing now that they always bring kids out onto the pitch during the line-up.
Yes.
Now, we as old curmudgeons are not sure about that. We think that's bad and it ruins the classic line-up. What do you think?
Well, it would be all right if they had to keep hold of the kids throughout the match.
Yes.
No, it wouldn't. I'd prefer they came out with puppies.
They'd have been all right with Beckham. I think a small child could have kept up with Beckham during the Portugal game. A toddler.
Why didn't you like it?
Why don't we like
these little children, they come along.
Well, let me show you, right? Here's the
heroes.
Croatian lineup, right?
They're not with their heroes,
no,
anyway.
Look at this. Look, they don't know what they're doing, the kids.
No.
Some of them are kneeling, right? Some of them are looking away. This one here, look, what he does, thumbs up, very appropriate. Look, she's crying, that one there. And where's that one gone?
Embarrassed.
Oh, he's cross-legged on
They spoil the whole look of a lineup.
It could be like their biggest moment of their lives.
Does it look
It's
like
all
they're thinking
downhill.
this is my biggest moment?
Yeah.
I think it's just what they did with all the kids that had shrunk, you know.
That are drunk.
Shrunk?
All the kids in the trunk.
No, honey, I've shrunk the shrinking kids. I don't know, you know.
Drunk children.
No, the kids shrunk, and so they thought, let's put them on some
I
kids.
see.
They're not drunk.
Didn't really happen. Puppies would be better.
Puppies would be good, actually.
No, they spoil it, though. Why have kids? They're Portuguese kids, aren't they? They're all Portuguese, so they're marching on with Denmark and stuff like that.
They're not actually from
no,
the
they don't think they
countries they're
import
with.
them. No,
They should import the children.
What, they'd have to come over with their minders and all sorts of stuff. What do they call it? Sorry, parents, I think is the phrase, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know they're called soccer escorts. Is that what they're called?
Soccer
I think that's what they're called. You
I
have
think
to pay.
Steve Bruce used to drive one.
Yeah. Yeah.
They have to pay it. Do they pay for this? I don't know. They pay at Chelsea.
I don't know. They pay at Chelsea. Have you
Do
got
they pay for fancy football?
kids? We don't bring on kids, do we?
Yeah,
do
well,
we have
maybe
any
you
kids
should.
here?
Well, we might bring someone.
You could have little mascots at the front here.
But we don't.
Yeah.
If I see more than 3 kids together in a crowd, I always think nits.
Very good point.
You can see the footballers already starting.
Perhaps if they just came on with fridge magnets, that would be enough, you know what I mean?
I agree with
would
that.
be enough,
And
yeah.
also, there's this weird tradition, I don't know if you know this, that when you bring kids onto the pitch, the pennant you always have to give to the campest child.
The pennant.
Yeah, look. Apparently,
It's funny how you can tell at a very early age.
Isn't it?
yeah, you can. Yeah.
Well, was it like that with you, Deb?
Very, very like that. Yeah. I can tell. I can
Oh,
tell.
that incessant whispering by
Yes.
the neighbours.
Do you remember those 2 terrible winters we had?
I do remember them. Yes.
Mike and Bernie.
Jeff wins.
The other thing that's been very noticeable at this tournament is the big flag.
Yeah. We've seen very, very big flags. Look, I
It's
think
a mystery, the big flag.
Look, there's a big-ish
It's a good
flag, but look at that flag.
Oh, it's a whopper.
Wow.
What we were wondering is, how does that get there from Croatia? I mean, they hardly have planes in Croatia.
They just wrap it round a really big chef.
Do you think?
No, I don't really.
But how do they get it? How do you fold that up?
It's a bloody big bit of cloth.
Who makes
Jane,
it?
would you be able to pack that? Women are better at packing than men. Could you
Well,
pack
would
that
it be
flag?
a big suitcase, and where would you put your shoes? I mean...
Yeah. And what about the excess baggage on that? What do you
But
think?
also, how do they know who's going to hold it at the bottom, and how does it all happen?
Well, this is what we want to know.
Yeah.
That's the most
Who
intriguing
makes...
thing.
Imagine trying to make a flag that big. You get, like, lots of sheets. Where'd you get that piece of material from?
Where'd you get red sheets?
Where'd you get the motivation? That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, really, isn't it?
Is there anyone here that's ever taken a big flag to a football match? I knew it.
Yeah?
I think the clubs make those and just disperse them to suggest we've got clever, inventive.
I think it's just to
craft work
discourage toupee wearers in the crowd, you know.
Yeah, because they'll come off.
They will come off. How do you think? I'll tell you, they have come off.
But talking about things that the crowd do, I mean, again, I don't want to come across as sour old people, but we don't really like the Mexican wave either, because we just think it always happens when the game is very dull.
Do you know, if you could harness the energy created by a Mexican wave,
yeah,
you'd be a scientist. It's nice when they peter out, though, isn't it? We all like that
bit when they peter out. Yeah.
But they're thoroughly enjoying themselves.
No, are they
They're
though?
thoroughly enjoying it. If you
You
start
not.
one in here now, everyone will thoroughly enjoy
No, I don't
themselves.
want them to do it.
I'd like them to do a really crap one.
No, I hate it.
Why?
It means that, for a start of it, means the match is boring, usually. That's why they start doing it. I know
Yes.
they do it at the Albion quite a lot.
Don't you? But you refuse to get up.
I won't. I just sit. I won't do it. And they'll
Yeah.
go, oh, come on, Frank. And I just won't. It's.
Are they comedy Birmingham people around you?
I'd put it behind drugs in sport and possibly hooliganism.
Yeah. What is the worst thing to happen
That's
to
probably
football?
the worst thing in football. Yes. Is there anyone here who actually has ever started one?
You've actually started one.
See?
Are you from Mexico?
No.
So why don't you tell us that crazy anecdote?
I put my hands up and then everyone else did.
So you
That's what I call a story. Now, if there was more stories like that on television, people would stay in more.
But did you say that you finished it as well?
No.
Oh, sorry. Because wouldn't that be
Object,
something?
you're leading the witness.
That would be something, though.
You never said anything of the sort.
Oh, you're starting one on that sofa.
It can happen. No, it can. Luckily, if there's a lot of bears attacking you, go like that, it can confuse them. And you get a Mexican wave in the
That will
woodland and off
confuse-
your trot and eat your picnic.
It will confuse a bear doing a Mexican wave.
And also, apparently, bears are attracted by the smell of menstruating women. Did you know that?
Oh, get
They are.
Bears are?
They are.
Are they?
Apparently, you're not supposed to take a menstruating woman into the woods. Well, why would you?
Come here, man, Frank.
Honestly, Jane, I haven't made that up. I was told that
How
by...
do you
Did
know
someone put one in
that?
front of one?
Who found that
How
out?
did they find it out? Well, they took several menstruating women into the woods.
And they set the bears free.
Yeah.
And they said, off
And
you go.
they sorted them out.
And that leads to that phrase, do bears menstruate in the woods?
Well, it's not... No, honestly, a cowboy told me that in Montana.
Oh, well, if a cowboy in Montana told you.
Yes. He was carrying a small pennant.
Actually, before we go any further, I think we have to have the second instalment of our new series.
How did Stanley Matthews get here? How did Stan?
How did he get there?
You know what time it is, don't you? Do you know what time it is?
It's time for Phoenix from the Flames, isn't it?
Phoenix from the Flames, Phoenix from the Flames, Phoenix.
Luther, we're here to recreate a very historic event, your goal against Luxembourg in 1982, which was the first goal ever scored for England by a black player.
Yeah, I'm really proud of that.
For Robson, and for Woodcock, and Blissett surely this time, but he's miskept it in. And he was left with the most open of goals. Even then the touch wasn't sure, but it crept over the line almost apologetically.
I'm sorry, Luther, I didn't realise that Martin Tyler was so negative about your goal.
Well, I wonder what the co-commentator had to say about it.
I don't know what you're talking about, Martin. I think it's the best goal I've ever seen. I'm so happy that black players have made the mark in the English game. Long overdue. And when I say Jew, I don't want anyone to think I'm being anti-Semitic. In fact, never a day goes by. And when I say Dago, I don't mean...
Ron, you can't come back on the telly!
Well, anyway, I actually scored a hat-trick in that game.
Blissett puts it in. Blissett's in the middle. It's the hat-trick.
And that's my greatest ever achievement.
Well, I don't know about that. But what about this? It's a great novel. Particularly like this bit. The coin of the kingdom of the mad. dangles on my chest to remind me of the eternal oscillation of human fortunes.
No, no. Luther